Once upon a time, in a vast and prosperous kingdom, there ruled a mighty king named Suraj. He had everything, wealth, power, and luxury beyond imagination. Yet he was never satisfied. No matter how much gold he collected, how many palaces he built, or how many feasts he enjoyed, he always wanted more. One day, while walking in his royal garden, he saw a beautiful bird with shimmering golden feathers. Its song was the sweetest he had ever heard. "I must have it," he exclaimed. The king ordered his men to capture the bird and place it in a golden cage. For days he admired the bird. He fed it the finest seeds and kept it in the most luxurious cage. Yet something troubled him. The bird, once full of life, had stopped singing. It sat in silence, gazing at the open sky. The king was frustrated. "Why does the bird not sing? I have given it everything it could ever want." A wise Buddhist monk, hearing of the king's distress, visited the palace. He looked at the caged bird and smiled. "Your Majesty," he said, "why do you think the bird is sad?" The king frowned. "I do not know. It has gold, food, and comfort. What more could it desire?" The monk chuckled softly and said, "The bird desires only one thing, freedom." The king was stunned. The monk continued, "Like this bird, Your Majesty, you are trapped. You think gold and luxury will bring you happiness, yet your heart remains restless. Desire is a golden cage. It may look beautiful, but it only leads to suffering." The king's eyes widened in realization. For the first time, he saw the truth. He opened the cage and set the bird free. As it soared into the sky, it sang the most beautiful song he had ever heard. From that day on, the king let go of his endless desires. He lived simply, ruled wisely, and found peace, not in possessions, but in contentment. Moral of the story: desire is like a golden cage. It may seem beautiful, but it only leads to suffering. True happiness comes from letting go. As Buddha said, craving leads to suffering. The wise free themselves by letting go.